Good morning, family. Um, so back doing some more words of Jesus. In Matthew 22 is where today's scripture comes from. Chapter 22, verses 36 through 40. A very familiar passage. But again, that doesn't really matter for these. If it's familiar or not familiar, just going with what I feel led to. So, these are the verses. One of these lawyers is asking him, "Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law?" Jesus said to him, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets." As with most of these scriptures, there's so much that could be said, so I'll try to narrow it down the best I can for these particular videos. The first is, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with soul." And I think that's a common, very popular, very common verse, especially among Christian circles. But going back to what's the purpose, well, this is the first thing. This is the first thing you do. Oftentimes, if you get something in the mail, like an electronic, the first thing they say to do is to what? Is to charge it, right? You have to plug it into the source. And so that's what God says first, is you have to plug into the source. You have to love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. You've got to get in tune with him first before you can do anything else. It's impossible to live a Christian life, a true Christian life, without being wholly committed to God. And then the second one is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. And it's interesting to note that of these first two, neither one talks about loving yourself as an action. First you love God, then you love others. It's always pointing towards other people. And there's that popular song nowadays, "Love God, love people," and that's kind of what it is. But going back to the first one, we can only find true love when we plug into the source. And the second one, in order to love others like ourselves, it's assuming we already love ourselves, which is true. If I'm hungry, I'm going to feed myself. If I'm dirty, I'm going to bathe myself. I will take care of myself. That's not anything we have to be told to do. I will take care of myself. But he says, first plug into me and find my love, my strength. And then go out and love your neighbor as yourself. So anyways, I hope that gives you something good to think on today, guys. I love you, and I will see you after work.